Hey everybody, Sinister Lex here. Today I'm answering a question about if I were starting over from scratch, would I choose copywriting again? And this was a comment on one of my other videos, so we're going to take a look at it. He was thinking about starting up as a copywriter, getting into freelance, but is now doubting himself or herself. I didn't really look at the picture, so if I'm not going to go either way on that one. If you're a he or her, it doesn't matter. But you were doubting yourself about whether or not copywriting is the best choice at this point, because you're going to have to learn it and you might be able to learn something faster and earn higher pay. So I've already done this from scratch, so you already know that I would choose copywriting again, but I can create value in that realm, in that niche, and for my people. So I'm going to try and approach this from the standpoint of if I were starting up from scratch and I had not done all the things I've done with freelancing, and try and give you that picture. So if you were just starting out today, you just found out about freelance today, you're thinking about getting into it, and you want to know which skills you should learn to bring to the table there. First, I want you to rewind to about 2 or 3 years ago, I forget how many it's been now, when I started freelancing, and look at the market as it was back then, and why I was able to do what I was able to do, and why I'm able to do it now consistently over and over. Back when I started, there weren't that many copywriters, and it wasn't that big of a thing. And there were a lot of people who didn't speak very good English. There were a lot of people who were not delivering very much value. The market was just kind of flat in general, I guess. In the freelance workplace, the market was flat. It was a bunch of people who didn't know or understand customer service or value or anything like that. So it wasn't a big thing. Freelancing wasn't as big as it was right now. And for that reason, I was able to take non-existent copywriting experience and come into the market. Now, you do have to consider my background and experience in other areas, and I would definitely suggest that you do this same thing for yourself. Look at what you have experience in, look at your background, where you can pull from to move as quickly as possible into the freelance market. I had a background of 10 years of influence and persuasion, NLP and things like that, studying, going to college for psychology, and even a year of short story writing. All of these things funneled into the perfect storm and combination of what I needed to become a copywriter really quickly and move forward and make that progress. So what skills and what experience do you have in your background that you can pull forward, and what might those apply to? Like, what different skills and stuff on Upwork might those apply to that you could use? Because to be honest with you, you can make high pay with virtually any skill on Upwork. You can make, it's copywriting, web design, app development. Some are higher paying than others, but you can make high pay. The key is showing that you have value, that you create value for the client, that you can do the job they need you to do. And back when I started, there wasn't a lot of competition. So all I had to do to show value was to have a unique entry point, to come from, everybody's coming in this door and I'm coming in the side door over here. And by doing that, I caught clients off guard. They're like, wow, this guy's delivering a great experience for nothing. And then I was able to grow super fast because I was willing to do what it takes. I was willing to take those shitty jobs at first and deliver this awesome experience, and then bump my rates up after that. But any skill on Upwork, blog writing, transcription, all of it can be high pay for you if you figure out how to charge for it later on. So I won't get into that right now. I just want to say, if you're thinking about learning copywriting, then you have to understand where the market is right now. It's not the same place it was 3 years ago when I was starting. So if I just found out about freelancing today, it would be a whole different ballgame, because today there's been 3 years or whatever since people like me got in there and started doing this stuff. And I've had a lot of time since then to focus on this, to improve myself, to grow, to work with like $100 million marketers, to get better. And now I consider myself among the best. Like, I am the best of the best. And there are people like me on Upwork. And not only is copywriting the highest listed skill, but now, today, you're not just competing with people who didn't speak very good English. You are competing with people like me who already know exactly what clients want to hear. We know what to say. We know how to write for them. And for that reason, you have much, much tougher competition in this area, in the area of copywriting. Now, that isn't to say that you can't get into copywriting and make it happen. What I'm saying is, you need a unique entry point. And maybe this goes for other skills too. I don't do other skills on there, so I don't really know. But you need a unique entry point in order for you to get into this field. First of all, because Upwork isn't even accepting any more copywriters right now because there's too many of them. So if you want to get into copywriting, you need to come in from somewhere else. Blog posting, social media, transcription, whatever it is that you want to do, you got to do what you got to do to get your foot in the door. And then you have to have something that creates unique value. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this really soon. Like in this series, in the 4-part series that's starting tomorrow, we're going to talk more about this. But to create value, like, you need something that sets you apart. If you're brand new, you are going to have to build up and learn copy in order to be able to be awesome at it and charge higher rates. But if you have something in your background or your experience that can help you be valuable to a certain type of people, then that could be your unique entry point. So, for instance, I trained in NLP. So I have experience in NLP and as an NLP master practitioner. That's one unique skill. That one unique skill alone is enough of an entry point for me to pull clients who are looking for people who write NLP copy. There's not very many people out there doing it, so that's one skill. I don't get those job offers very often, but they do come through, and that can be an entry point. And the thing with that is, someone who's looking for that skill, I only need one of those people to be my referral source. So I get in with that guy, I deliver a good job, he loves it, and now he's ready to refer me out to his friends. And as soon as he's doing that, I can increase my prices, I can go higher, I can move away from Upwork if I want, and now I have my I have my zone of genius, as some people say. I have my zone, my niche, my industry, it's all right there within the NLP market. That could be a whole thing. And you have to look to your background to figure out where your unique entry point is. Whether you're coming in with copywriting or any other thing, like, there has to be something. Because when clients come on here, they post a job, and two things are happening. One, they're searching for freelancers, and when they search for freelancers, they type in certain keywords and they get a list of freelancers. If they just type in copywriter, they have like thousands of copywriters to choose from because so many people have that skill tag. And before they get to your profile, long before they find your profile, they find 500 people who have 100% job success score, 1,000 hours worked, and they're the best thing since sliced bread. So you have to figure out what your people are searching for, what unique entry point you can have. If you put in NLP copywriter, now you move yourself away from everyone else, you've separated yourself. They type in NLP copywriter, and you might be one of the 20 people that pops up. Now you have a much better chance of getting hired. Your unique entry point is super duper important here. It's not so much about the learning curve. The learning curve is going to be tricky with any skill. You're going to have to learn. So for the learning curve, I suggest coming from something in your background as well. What is going to be easy? What is going to most easily translate into an Upwork skill that you can then use your unique entry point to serve a specific market? So all of this comes down to solving problems and helping people. And I want that to be very clear. You need to find the one specific problem that you can solve better than anybody else. Like, it has to be, you have to be the person, the guy who can solve this problem. And then you have to know who you can solve that problem for, who has that problem, who can you solve it for. If you can take those two things and combine them and put that in your profile and be that guy and prove that you're that guy, then you're going to start getting gigs and you can charge high rates for that. So if you're only looking for something you can make the most money with, I would go with app development of any kind. Web app development or phone app development, stuff like that is what I've seen the highest paying, hundreds of thousands of upwards of $1 million. And that could be a really lucrative skill for you, but I don't know how long that takes to learn. It might take a long time to learn. So if you're looking for something you can learn quickly, I don't know, maybe go in looking for blog posts if you have any writing skills, or web design. Web design can be really lucrative too. If you learn like WordPress, you can learn WordPress pretty easily. It's just going to take some time. I would say at least a minimum of 3 months to get good enough with WordPress where you can design a site that actually looks good. But any time during that, you can be reaching out to people both through freelance and locally. If I were starting again, would I go into copywriting? The answer for me is yes, but I would also be bringing a lot of different skill sets to the table that other people don't have, and that would be my unique entry point. If you are starting, should you start with copywriting? For most people who don't have any writing experience, I really don't recommend it. I don't, because it's going to take you a year to get into that skill and learn it, and to be good about it, and like, you're competing against people like me. I do this every day, all day long, guys. I write emails all day long. I write copy all day long. This is all I do. And I don't write it just for me. I write it for actual paying clients who are giving me feedback, who are telling me that shit sucked, we need to fix it, and here's why. And I'm growing through that now. I no longer have to grow based on what my skills might be, but on actual feedback from the market. So if you can find your unique entry point and get in there, you can definitely learn it and still make it happen. Copywriting can still be extremely lucrative for you. But any other skill can be as well. Look to your background, look to your experience from the past, and figure out how you can apply that to be valuable for the people who are here right now. One specific problem, solve one specific problem, solve it for one specific group of people, and then you have your unique entry point and you can get in and make some money. So I hope that answers this question for you. If you have any questions, let me know down below. I'm not really sure. I feel like I get off on a little bit of a tangent sometimes, and I'm not sure that I totally answered it as best as I could. But if you have questions about this, drop it down below, and I'll try and see if I can expand on that point or those points a little bit and make that more valuable for you. Anyway, there's the 4-part training series coming up tomorrow, guys. You should definitely stick around for that. I'm going to try and make that super valuable, and we're going to get specific with mindset and then value, how to create value, which is a little bit about what we just talked about, and then going beyond applications and interviews. All of that stuff is coming up over the next 4 days. If that's something that you want to be a part of, you want to watch, stick around, subscribe down below if you want to see more. I'm Sinister Lex. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.